I am the definition of Apple sheep and Apple fanboy, and I am fed up with the Apple TV. I'm hoping this video will clear the air for some people. A lot of the time I get comments and people responding to me on Twitter that always say, Drew, you have to understand that Apple makes mistakes sometimes. You have to acknowledge that they're not perfect. I get this like 90 times a day. I want you guys to know that I don't defend Apple no matter what. I defend them when I personally think they're right, and if I think they're wrong, I do call them out. Long-term viewers of my channel know I am this way. Yes, I think they're right most of the time, but there are plenty of times that I do not think they deserve to be defended, that they are completely in the wrong. The Apple TV 4K specifically has been the epitome of why does this exist? Why does this work the way it is? Why is it priced the way it is? And I'm fed up with it, so here comes the rant. This device is already controversial enough as it is, especially with this remote being remotes we have on our couches. Sometimes it's dark, we can be clumsy with them, and people already don't like that they have glass on the front that easily shatters. People have hardwood floors, they drop them, they get lost between couch cushions, and the fact that the remote like this is hard black just makes it harder to see when it's dark and you're watching TV, which is why I kind of miss the older style Apple TV remotes because they were aluminum and very easy to see even when the lights were out. But regardless, that's enough controversy as it is. With the Apple TV 4K, we've had phantom motions and phantom clicks when trying to just do simple things like watch Netflix, open YouTube, access Siri, and stuff like that. To use dictation to search. The last generation of Apple TV, the non-4K version, I never had any problems with. The remote is basically the same as this one, just the menu button didn't have a little white ring around it. That was about the only change. So I never had any problems with that Apple TV. I never had any complaints about it. Worked fine, I was happy with it. For some reason, when switching over to 4K, we're getting all of these misfires whenever we're trying to navigate through the menus. I thought, this is weird, this must be a bug. So I'll let some time go by, maybe there's software updates we can enable. Hopefully Apple will patch this later. Months and months of time went by and we still never got that patch that fixed the phantom clicks. It makes gaming near impossible. If you play those games where you have to touch the trackpad in order to get your character to fly, like Alto's Odyssey, for the first 5 minutes it'll be fine, but then over time, the lag between what's going on with the screen and what the remote is doing is completely disconnected. You can click the trackpad, 5 seconds will go by, and then the character on the screen will respond. The confusing thing about this, though, is that as soon as you press the home button on the Apple TV remote, it immediately goes to the home screen. There's no lag there, so it's just the trackpad that's lagging, but not the actual buttons. Also, changing the volume doesn't cause any problems. The difficult part is we haven't been able to recreate or get it to act the way it does on command. So we were like, maybe just the battery is low or something, so we leave it charged, keep it at 100%. Nope, doesn't fix it. We tried to turn our TV off and on again, factory resetting it, unplugging the remote, letting it die completely. But nope, no matter what, once we go back to search for that dictation, there's all this lag, and the microphone isn't able to pick us up and decipher what we're trying to put into the search bar. So we just stopped and figured, okay, maybe this remote is whack because Apple TV, once you can get the controller to work correctly, works fine. There's no graphical problems with the TV box itself. Once you open YouTube and once YouTube starts playing, it's fine. Once you open Netflix and it starts playing, it's fine. It's just the controller. So that's what led us to believe something must be wrong with the remote itself. So what do? We take it to Apple. We say we're having a problem with this remote. We would like it replaced. They, of course, said, no problem. Here's a remote for free. You can just have this at no additional cost because we did not open up our Apple TV remote and tried to fix it ourselves. We didn't even get Apple Care, but they just gave us a free one. So we got the replacement remote, paired it to the TV, and said, okay, maybe that was the problem. Maybe we had a faulty remote. Maybe this is a common problem. But still, though, for a $200 device, should there really be faults like that affect the TV OS experience that much? Because we started looking online and finding out that lots of other people are having the same problem. Gavin Free from Slow Mo Guys even tweeted, this remote is complete garbage. And that's when we started realizing this may be a bigger problem than people realize, and it's time that more people come forward about it. Maybe Apple will act on it. Because we got this replacement Apple TV remote and the same exact problems came back into play. So there's several different ways we can take this. We can look at it as maybe the actual TV box is broken itself. The way the remote communicates with the TV results in the user interface being broken, things lagging around and phantom clicks, and you'll be watching Netflix and then all of a sudden it'll just jump to the home screen. screen. No one touched the remote, no one did anything, but that is extremely infuriating and frustrating when you're trying to watch something, and all of a sudden it thinks like, oh, the remote wanted us to go to the home screen, so it jumps to home screen. Gotta go back to Netflix, open it up, and start playing a show again. That shouldn't happen. I don't know how it happens, but it keeps happening, and there's no predictability with it. Also, throughout watching a show, constantly the Apple TV remote will be disconnected, then reconnected, then disconnected, then reconnected, and that little widget on the Apple TV keeps popping up over and over and over again. Remote disconnected, remote connected, remote disconnected, remote connected. So we've gotten two different Apple TV remotes to act in a broken way, like a defective way. So is the way the Apple TV box interacting with the remote the thing that's broken? In either case, this is something that Apple should have known before releasing these products out there. If lots of people are having it, this is absolutely a quality control problem. And I'm now going to retract my opinions on the Apple TV 4K that I think I reviewed back in October. It was a long time ago. I can no longer recommend this product knowing that so many people may have issues with it, especially when people come over and watch movies here at the office and we start trying to get the user interface to work and people are like, just select YouTube, and you're like, I can't. The remote is just buggy. I don't know what's wrong with it. That is frustrating. And at the same time, you kind of have to look at the competition and think, yeah, okay, Apple TV can play 4K, but there's Fire TV boxes that can do that for much, much cheaper. That, you know, for the most part, tvOS is kind of the least productive of all of the Apple operating systems. I love iOS. I do so much of my work on it. I love macOS. We do so much of our work on it. I like watchOS for managing all my notifications and activity tracking. They're all fairly productive, but tvOS is that one operating system that's just focused on, we gotta play games and play movies. And typically with Apple products, I expect them to do what most people would need an Apple TV to do, and nothing more, nothing less. Nothing too fancy, few games here and there, and some movies and TV shows. And it's just good at navigating your way to the content you want to watch. I've had decent experiences with Apple TVs before, but if this $200 TV box can't even get that right, then spend your $200 on like an Xbox One S. That can actually run AAA titles at a pretty decent performance at the same price. And of course, the One S also supports 4K output for things like Netflix or Prime Video or YouTube. For the same price, you could get something that actually comes with a controller and actually allows you to play certain games. I'm sure the PS4 Slim can do all these things as well. It's also a Blu-ray player if you care about physical media. And if you don't care about physical media and you don't care about having an Xbox or PlayStation and spending $200 on a TV console, then very simply just get a Fire TV or something much, much cheaper. Fire TV Cube or dongle or Chromecast 4K or something like that. This is a very different debate between iOS and Android. When it comes to actual TV boxes, I really don't expect them to do much. I'm not comparing optimization or performance or what apps they have. It's really just, should it open Netflix and YouTube and Prime and Hulu? Can it open those things and play them well? If yes, it's a pretty decent product. And sadly, with the Apple TV 4K, I cannot say yes. It is not good at it. Even working with Apple customer support, asking them, hey, I'm getting phantom clicks, my trackpad is non-responsive, it's laggy, I can't play my games. And their approach is replace the remote. So we do that and it doesn't get fixed. Maybe our TV box is defective or something like that, or maybe this is a very common line of code that's present in all Apple TV remotes. On top of that, doesn't help that our volume clickers, for some reason, have now just gotten sticky. We didn't spill anything on this. We just keep it next to the couch all day. And now the buttons on that replacement remote aren't working as well. This is garbage. So when people ask me what my least favorite Apple product is, happy to say I now have an answer. This thing is trash, way too expensive, no quality control over it. Lots of people turned out to be having the same problems. Do not buy the Apple TV 4K. It is a waste of your money. I had better luck with the older generation Apple TV, the non-4K one. Maybe I should just go back to that, or I'd rather just hook up my Xbox to the TV. I'd probably have a better experience doing that. So I hope that cleared the air for a lot of you and helped you guys realize, yes, there are plenty of things Apple does that I hate, and this is one of them. Do not buy this product, and keep that in mind going out. I am not afraid to rip their product line apart. I do not defend this in any way. There's probably some of my fans out there that are trying to defend it right now and saying, I didn't have problems with it, so I guess it's fine. You know it's a problem when the fanboy is telling you not to buy it. So let me know what you think of the Apple TV 4K. If you're having similar problems that I'm having, please let us know in the comments below so we can see how common of a problem it is. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.